At this hour, people are still lining up to give a somber final salute to former President George H.W. Bush. His flag-draped casket arrived at the Capitol today for one last time. And tonight, the body of the 41st president is lying in state in the rotunda. The 41st president will lie in state for 41 hours. The doors to the Capitol will remain open nonstop to the public to pay their respects.
Mr. Bush's family and the country are marking the passing of the former president, who's being hailed as a patriot and a humble servant. CBS 2 political reporter Dave Bryan has more on today's really emotional tribute to the late president.
And he was a president who played the middle. You don't see that much anymore in American politics. Hundreds of people were lined up to pay their respects to President George Herbert Walker Bush when his casket was carried up the steps of the Capitol this afternoon. And political leaders from both sides of the aisle showed up in force, reinforcing the deceased president's appeal to both parties. With camera shutters clicking, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump visited the flag-draped casket of former President George Herbert Walker Bush in the Capitol Rotunda Monday evening, paying his respects with a salute for the deceased president. But the bitterness between the two families has reportedly not been entirely erased. The New York Times reports President Trump was not invited to eulogize President Bush at the religious service on Wednesday marking his death, nor did he speak today at the Rotunda. Instead, Vice President Mike Pence represented the Trump administration.
President Bush was a great leader who made a great difference in the life of this nation, but he was also just a good man.
It was a rare occasion in our 2018 political world when the Democratic and Republican House leaders stood side by side in respect for President Bush. And the Senate leaders from both parties did the same. Presidential historian Carl Anthony told me H.W. Bush pushed through moderate bills in many cases with the help of some Democrats.
The Americans with Disabilities Act. It was something very personal to him as well as something that he thought was the right thing to do. It wasn't necessarily a leading, burning objective of his party at the time.
Earlier, in a moment made for the history books, the sun set over Washington as the casket bearing the 41st President of the United States was carried up the Capitol steps. Even with his political opponents like Bill Clinton, who defeated incumbent George H.W. Bush in 1992, Bush still developed friendships.
Our arguments were good-natured and open, and we continue to debate things all the way up until recently.
Now, after a funeral service Wednesday at the National Cathedral, Mr. Bush's body will be flown to Houston for another service. Mr. Bush will then be interred on the grounds of the George Bush Presidential Library. That's at Texas A&M University, laid to rest next to his wife Barbara and Robin Bush, their daughter, who was only 3 years old when she died of leukemia. So this process will continue now for much of the rest of the week.
As deserved,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
When you say so?
Yeah, absolutely. Very much so.
Dave, thank you. The plane carrying the casket of former President Bush from Texas to D.C. also transported his companion. That's Sully you see there, the president's service dog, flew aboard Special Air Mission 41 today, taking his place alongside members of the Bush family. A Bush family spokesperson tweeted this touching photo of Sully saying farewell to Mr. Bush last night with the caption, "Mission complete." Sully will soon, though, take on a new role, helping wounded veterans at Walter Reed National Military Center.
And we will have continuing coverage on CBS 2 and online at cbsla.com as the nation pays tribute to our 41st president, George H.W. Bush.
All right, now out here on the West Coast, we're paying attention to the weather. Cold today, but we may be getting ready for yet another round of wet weather.
Well, Garth Kipp has been watching all that. He's here now with the first look at our forecast. Garth.
Yeah, well, we're right about normal where we should be, which is right around 69 degrees, but we are tracking this next area of low pressure. There it is, already bringing an area of rain up to the Bay Area. That caused some delays up at San Francisco Airport, but you can see still sitting and spinning into that area. It's going to detach itself and start to move down south, so it will become a cutoff low. How much will we get out of this one? Will it affect the burn areas, and for how long will it be around? I promise you in about 12 to 13 minutes, I'll show you all of that. Stay tuned. Back to you guys.
We'll be here. Thanks, Garth. Detectives in Hollywood are still sorting out a deadly shooting inside a Hollywood Walgreens store. A security guard opened fire on a man he suspected was shoplifting, but some people say the shooting was unnecessary. CBS 2's Chris Holmstrom is live in Hollywood with an update. Chris.
Pat, I spoke with the twin sister of the man who was shot and killed inside this Walgreens. You can see it's closed right now. Well, he's 21-year-old Jonathan Hart, and she has a lot of questions as to what happened, and she's demanding those answers from the LAPD.
Do not touch him.
Cell phone video shows a man identified by friends as Sky, who they say was shot and killed by a security guard at this busy Hollywood Walgreens. Many customers had no idea why the store was closed.
This is shocking, like, poor guy.
This guy was with Sky when the shooting happened. He says the guard went up to him and accused him of stealing items. He said Sky pushed the guard, they argued, then the guard pulled out the gun.
He saw him, the security guard reaching, and then he just shot him. Yes, and he had a taser too. I don't know why they didn't use his taser.
His friends say Sky tried to make a run for it, and it was one shot that killed him. This man, who did not want to be identified, has been living on the streets of Hollywood for years. He says it's not uncommon for security guards to carry guns.
It's scary. That's what I think. Most of them aren't qualified. He should have just went in the back room with him, given him his ID and his name, and he would have got kicked out of here. That's all.
The LAPD would not go into detail about what happened, but they say they are investigating how this escalated from a simple theft to a deadly incident. At this point, no charges have been filed against the security guard. As for why the guard had a gun, that too is unknown, but experts in the security business say as long as the security guards are properly licensed by the state, they can carry weapons, and oftentimes do. And Walgreens released a statement that reads, "We're deeply concerned about this incident and the loss of life. We're gathering facts and fully cooperating with law enforcement in the ongoing investigation of the incident. The safety and security of all of our customers and employees is our top priority." As for the family, they tell me they plan on having a vigil out here tomorrow afternoon. Reporting live from Hollywood, I'm Chris Holmstrom, CBS 2 News.
All right, Chris, thank you. New information tonight about a deadly drive-by shooting in South L.A. The LAPD now says 2 women caught in crossfire at 88th and Broadway were innocent bystanders. One was killed, the other grazed by a bullet. Police say a car that was passing the scene was also hit. The 2 people inside were not injured. LAPD believes there was only one shooter.
Tonight, UC Irvine is the target of a new lawsuit. A marketing analyst is suing the Board of Regents and a volunteer at the university's medical center for sexual harassment. Carlin Motley, the complainant who still has her job, says the man known as Volunteer Abe has a brain injury and has difficulty controlling his impulses. She claims for a year, Volunteer Abe visited her office, kissed and touched her, and waited for her in the parking lot. Motley says she brought her concerns to her boss and the university, and the volunteer told investigators he would stop. Well, the university allegedly told her this.
Things will be harder for you if you don't let it go. And so, in my mind, that was kind of a clear warning, if you will, to be quiet, to shut up, and to go away.
Now, in response, a spokesperson for UCI said, "We have learned of the potential lawsuit at today's news conference, and we will review legal documents once they are received and comment at the appropriate time."
A mother trying to help her teenager get her first driver's license hits a roadblock with the DMV. So Two on Your Side stepped in and got some results.
Rain is on the way, and one OC beach town prone to flooding is getting ready. I'm Stacey Butler. Join me for a live report coming up.
And talk
really
about
Baby, it's cold outside. I've got to go away.
All right, talk about a chilly reception. Why some are saying the song "Baby It's Cold Outside" should be banned.
Kobe Bryant makes an appearance at Staples Center. What he told our Jim Hill coming up later in sports.
And here's a look at the guests tonight on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.